I got something to say. The relevancy of the way you practice is how you play on game day. The way you prepare yourself determines how well you cook. Everything has a way to be handled, executed, whatever. I'm sorry, my mouth is dry. I've drunk 2 bottles of water. But anyway, how you practice determines how you play. I am stuck on that right now because I had a conversation. Well, technically 2, which is why I'm like, this has to be said. In relationships, I told, if you go to my YouTube channel, The Breakdown with Marcy, I talk about certain things. And now I'm going to be more consistent, no judgment. We listen, but we don't judge. I told someone today that, okay, you're shooting your shot, you're pitching this idea or this concept, and you want to have a positive response, feedback that can lead to closing the sale, making the deal happen, whatever the case may be. I said it don't matter if it's for business, in relationships, all the above. And I had to take a literal step back to say, well, tell me how you practice. Because I'm listening to her talking and, okay, I'm absorbing a lot of information. I'm categorizing it in my head so I can know how to respond, how to react whenever it's necessary. And the simplest question I asked was, well, how do you practice offering your pitches? Because you have to practice. I don't know what you mean. I thought it, as long as I have my material and I know my stats and this and that, blah, 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 which is very important. Having the tools, oh, definitely. But once the tools are established and you're comfortable with them, as far as like the keeping of it, whether it's the knowledge, like knowing the stats or something materialistic, if you don't practice using that thing, when it's time to perform, you're going to be looking like Boo Boo the Fool, and it's going to be perceived that you're not prepared or you're not in a position to handle something at that capacity. Simple as that. So the way I practice in the mirror, pitching something, speaking, doing my hair, in dating, whatever I'm doing in the preparation stage, the practicing stage, and when it's time for game day, it should be second nature. Y'all call it the Mamba effect. You can call it the Jordan effect. You got different levels of people that can testify that practice what you preach. The way you are in practice, especially in the sports arena, the way you practice, how you handle yourself in practice is going to be how you perform on game day. So when you're trying to tell me I gave you an opportunity to shoot your shot with this particular client, and I get feedback from you, one thing, and then I get feedback from the client, because it's always going to come back full circle. I don't care what nobody say. It's going to come back. And it's almost like 2 different stories because it was 2 different experiences for the same day, the same moment in time. How things were interpreted. I was baffled because I gave an opportunity I thought would be good, mix to mirror, whatever, and you fumble. I don't understand. And that's why I had to ask this person the question of like, well, did you practice your elevator pitch? Did you practice, how you were going to present it or introduce it into a conversation? Well, how am I supposed to? It could be you and Jesus and a mirror. Practice is just rehearsing it so that you know when to change your cadence, when to change your tones, when to project versus when to take a breath, when to do the pauses, so that you're not sounding like you're rambling or you're going 100 miles an hour like the road runner. People see that and they feed off of it. But whenever you can have that rhythm, a steady pace, it can be understood no matter the space. And people can understand, can articulate, and communicate their needs and wants without things being lost in transaction or interaction. So, again, the way you practice is the way you play. I'm stuck on that, and I'm going to stay stuck on that. The way I practice in a relationship, dating, pursuing somebody, it's going to tell me how I'm going to be when it's time to shift gears and be married. What is it called? Dating is the rehearsal, marriage is the performance, the ongoing performance. I'm just saying. Starting a job, how you pace yourself within the workplace, it can have a contribution to your upward mobility potential. Very much so. Well, I ain't trying to do all that work at this rate, or I ain't gonna do all that for what? You don't know. Things happen. Because at the end of the day, what is success? When preparedness meets the opportunity. If I'm prepared, I practice, an opportunity comes up, whether it falls in my lap or I help make it connect, whatever, I'm going to be successful no matter what. It might not be a complete yes for the sake of that contract, relationship, job, whatever, but it will be counted as a success because I know I gave it my best and I did it at my fullest potential. A no right now might be a yes later on. I'm just saying. Yeah. The way I practice is going to be the way I play. Practice makes permanence. Principles. Principles are the foundation to a lot of this stuff. And when you understand principles, you can navigate through any challenge. When you know the principles, you know how to handle yourself, how to think, how to maneuver. And that will eliminate a lot of just stress, unnecessary worrying, anxiety, all that emotional. So I had me a little emotional situation, but I had to take the time to pause, breathe, check myself, and then get back into the swing of it. So I had my moment of overthinking something or overanalyzing it because I just kept trying to make something fit that did not need to fit. Well, I ain't gonna say that. It didn't need to fit at that moment in time. And later found out. Yeah. The way you practice really shows how you will perform. Yep. That's it. That was my little tangent moment. My little, I guess, 10-minute tangent, whatever. But it came up twice. And I said, well, maybe I need to just say it again 3 times. For the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. So now I can share with y'all. Yep. The way you practice now is going to tell me how you're going to perform. In relationships, in the workplace, for self, in church, in any type of organization dealing with people. I always say everything is relational. I don't care what industry, what groups of people, all of it. Everything is relational. And how you practice and interact is going to tell me when your opportunity comes, how you going to perform. That's it.